Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So, I recently just came across the 48 Laws of Power, and I have, I think I read the book or I read the introduction. I don't remember what it was exactly, but I think I read the introduction to the 48 Laws of Power a few years ago, like a number of years ago. So, I don't remember all of them. But I remember laughing so hard at just what was written in the book because it's just wild. So, right now, I'm going to read the 48 Laws of Power and react to it. If you've ever heard of the 48 Laws of Power, then you know that this book is just wild. It's crazy, honestly. I don't know the type of people that use this book in their daily lives or in their work lives or any of that, but I think it's really wild, and I just wonder what was going through the minds of the people that were making it. I find it just really funny, and I just thought that I should go through the 48 Laws of Power with you because I was recently having a discussion with a group, and a surprising amount of people actually said that they found this book helpful. So I haven't gone through like all of the laws right now. I've just gone through like the first few, and I thought that I should make a video about this because I was just laughing so hard. It was so hilarious, and I think a lot of people find them hilarious. At the end of this video, I'd love if you could tell me what you think of the 48 Laws of Power, and if you think that any of them are helpful. I'm not going to read through all of them. I'm just going to read through the introduction that basically tells you what each law is and what it's about. And I think you will find this entertaining. I did. I know I did. Let's go through them. Okay, so here are the 48 laws as presented to us by Robert Greene. Okay, so law number 1, never outshine the master. Always make those above you feel comfortably superior. In your desire to please and impress them, do not go too far in displaying your talents, or you might accomplish the opposite. Inspire fear and security. Make your masters appear more brilliant than they are, and you will attain the heights of power. Wow. Like, way to start the laws. I wonder if these laws are like in order of like importance, or like, law number 1, like never outshine the master. It sounds like that. It sounds like these are in order of like, this is like an unforgivable law to like break. Like breaking this law is unforgivable. But yeah, that's law number 1, never outshine the master. Okay. Law number 2, never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. Wow. Be wary of friends. They will betray you more quickly, for they are easily aroused to envy. They also come spoiled and tyrannical. But hire a former enemy, and he will be more loyal than a friend, because he has more to prove. In fact, you have more to fear from friends than enemies. If you have no enemies, find a way to make them. Oh my goodness. Like, this is wild. I mean, I couldn't imagine just treating my friends like people to be like suspicious of. Aren't friends like part of the people that you love? I don't know. Like, am I just being too naive? Like, wow. I have heard of like that saying that says like keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Apparently that's a rule of like being wary of like people around you and like potential enemies. But apparently, if you don't have enemies, you should be finding a way to make them. I mean, this is just crazy, but it's so funny and entertaining. I don't know. It's so wild to me to think that some people would actually read this and be like, "Yeah, let me take some notes. This is what I got to do in my daily life, you know?" Law number 3, conceal your intentions. Keep people off balance and in the dark by never revealing the purpose behind your actions. If they have no clue what you are up to, they cannot prepare a defense. Guide them far enough down the wrong path, envelope them in enough smoke, and by the time they realize your intentions, it will be too late. Wow. Oh my goodness, like this is wild. Okay, so keep people off balance. I guess it's all people. Yeah. I mean, the weird thing is that there seems to be some like subtle truth to what is being said, and maybe that's why it resonates with some people. But I wouldn't necessarily take this as like this is right or correct, because the idea of like being private or being reserved and not always being too open or revealing is, I would say, even seen as a virtue. But I feel like these laws kind of mix in the virtue with the like manipulation kind of thing, and packaged together, it's like, yeah, this is how you do it. But I don't know. I wouldn't say like take this as face value or like read this and accept it as like true advice. But sort of like read a little bit of the wisdom in what is being said, I guess. Like this part, if they have no clue what you're up to, they cannot prepare a defense. I mean, that's just feels like purely manipulative, contrasted with like not really revealing the purpose behind your actions. That could be done somewhat in a just like innocent way in many ways. But like the second part is where it's like, yeah, here's where you do it in a manipulative way. Guide them far enough down the wrong path. Wow. Okay, law number 4. When you are trying to impress people with your words, the more you say, the more common you appear, and less in control, even if you are saying something banal. It will seem original if you make it vague, open-ended, and sphinx-like. Powerful people impress and intimidate by saying this. The more you say, the more likely you are to say something foolish. So, like I was saying earlier, like some of these are rooted in like, should I say, like common wisdom concepts of like don't speak too much, or the more you say, the more foolish you become because you just off balance or whatever. Like, yeah, I mean, I have no problem with that, but some of them are just wild. So much depends on reputation. Guard it with your life. Reputation is the cornerstone of power. Through reputation alone, you can intimidate and win. Once it slips, however, you are vulnerable and will be attacked on all sides. Make your reputation unassailable. Always be alert to potential attacks and thwart them before they happen. Meanwhile, learn to destroy your enemies by opening holes in their reputations. Then stand aside and let public opinion hang them. Wow. Learn to destroy your enemies by opening holes in their own reputations. Then stand aside and let public opinion hang them. Law 6. Court attention at all costs. Everything is judged by its appearance. What is unseen counts for nothing. Never let yourself get lost in the crowd, or buried in oblivion. Stand out, be conspicuous at all costs. Make yourself a magnet of attention by appearing larger, more colorful, more mysterious than the bland and timid masses. Law 7. Get others to do the work for you, but always take the credit. Use the wisdom, knowledge, and legwork of other people to further your own cause. Not only will such assistance save you valuable time and energy, it will give you a godlike aura of efficiency and speed. In the end, your helpers will be forgotten and you will be remembered. Never do yourself what others can do for you. Law 8. Make other people come to you. Use bait if necessary. When you force the other person to act, you are the one in control. It is always better to make your opponent come to you, abandoning his own plans in the process. Lure him with fabulous gains, then attack. You hold the cards. Law 9. Win through your actions, never through argument. Any momentary triumph you think you have gained through argument is really a Pyrrhic victory. The resentment and ill will you stir up is stronger and lasts longer than any momentary change of opinion. It is much more powerful to get others to agree with you through your actions without saying a word. Demonstrate, do not explicate. This one I would say I kind of agree with, yeah, I guess. Arguing with people seldom gets you anywhere. Most of the time, 99% of the time, people just want to stand in their judgment and defend their position and are not willing to switch sides. So arguing never gets you anywhere. That's what I think. Law 10. Infection. Avoid the unhappy and unlucky. You can die from someone else's misery. Emotional states are infectious as diseases. You may feel you are helping the drowning man, but you are only precipitating your own disaster. The unfortunate sometimes draw misfortune on themselves. They will also draw it on you. Associate with the happy and fortunate instead. So if you have a friend that's in a gloomy time and a time in need, ditch them. Get rid of them. Not having any of that. Don't need to consume that negativity. Negative energy. No way. Law 12. Use selective honesty and generosity to disarm your victim. One sincere and honest move will cover over dozens of dishonest ones. Open-hearted gestures of honesty and generosity bring down the guard of even the most suspicious people. Once your selective honesty opens a hole in their armor, you can deceive and manipulate them at will. A timely gift, a Trojan horse, will serve the same purpose. Law 13. When asking for help, appeal to people's self-interest, never to their mercy or gratitude. If you need to turn to an ally for help, do not bother to remind him of your past assistance and good deeds. He will find a way to ignore you. Instead, uncover something in your request or in your alliance with him that will benefit him and emphasize it out of all proportion. He will respond enthusiastically when he sees something to be gained for himself. This is an interesting one for me because if you've ever been into sales or have tried to sell something at some point in your life, you'd notice that when you want to sell that item or you want to sell yourself, even your skills and abilities when you're looking for a job, you always want to show the person how it's in their interest to obtain that object or to have you hired for their company or something. So in a sense, I would say this one is true. I would say this one makes sense. You always want to find a way to appeal to people's needs or wants at the time and not make it at all about you. Ironically, if you're selling yourself for a job, you don't want to make it about you. You want to make it about them, the company, the people that are hiring, what they're interested in, and figure out what they want and make yourself in a better position for them to accept you. So, yeah, I guess this one is okay. Law 14, pose as a friend, work as a spy. Knowing about your rival is crucial. Use spies to gather valuable information that will keep you a step ahead. Better still, play the spy yourself. In polite social encounters, learn to probe. Ask direct questions to get people to reveal their weaknesses and intentions. There is no occasion that is not an opportunity for artful spying. Law 15, crush your enemy totally. All great leaders since Moses have known that a preferred enemy must be crushed completely. Sometimes they have learned this the hard way. If one ember is left alight, no matter how dimly it smolders, a fire will eventually break out. More is lost through stopping halfway than total annihilation. The enemy will recover and seek revenge. Crush him, not only in body, but in spirit. Law 16. Use absence to increase respect and honor. Too much circulation makes the price go down. The more you are seen and heard from, the more common you appear. If you are already established in a group, temporary withdrawal from it will make you more talked about, even more admired. You must learn when to leave. Create value through scarcity. Some truth to that one. Law 17. Keep others in suspended terror. Cultivate an air of unpredictability. Humans are creatures of habit, with an insatiable need to see familiarity in other people's actions. Your predictability gives them a sense of control. Turn the tables, be deliberately unpredictable. Behavior that seems to have no consistency or purpose will keep them off balance, and they will wear themselves out trying to explain your moves. Taken to an extreme, this strategy can intimidate and terrorize. I mean, wow. This is just wild. Law 18. Do not build fortresses to protect yourself. Isolation is dangerous. The world is dangerous, and enemies are everywhere. Everyone has to protect themselves. A fortress seems the safest, but isolation exposes you to more dangers than it protects you from. It cuts you off from the valuable information. It makes you conspicuous and an easy target. Better to circulate among people, find allies, mingle. You are shielded from your enemies by the crowd. Law 19. Know who you are dealing with. Do not offend the wrong person. There are many different kinds of people in the world, and you can never assume that everyone will react to your strategies in the same way. Deceive or outmaneuver some people, and they will spend the rest of their lives seeking revenge. They are wolves in lamb's clothing. Choose your victims and opponents carefully. Then, never offend or deceive the wrong person. Law 20. Do not commit to anyone. It is the fool who always rushes to take sides. Do not commit to any side or cause but yourself. By maintaining your independence, you become the master of others, playing people against one another, making them pursue you. Law 21. Play a sucker to catch a sucker. Seem dumber than your mark. No one likes feeling stupider than the next person. The trick then is to make your victims feel smart, and not just smart, but smarter than you are. Once convinced of this, they will never suspect that you have the ulterior motives. Law 22. Use the surrender tactic. Transform weakness into power. When you are weaker, never fight for honor's sake. Choose surrender instead. Surrender gives you time to recover, time to torment and irritate your conqueror. Time to wait for his power to wane. Do not give him the satisfaction of fighting and defeating you. Surrender first by turning the other cheek. You infuriate and unsettle him. Make surrender a tool of power. Law 23. Concentrate your forces. Conserve your forces and energies by keeping them concentrated at their strongest point. You gain more by finding a rich mine and mining it deeper than by flitting from one shallow mine to another. Intensity defeats extensity every time. When looking for sources of power to elevate you, find one key patron, the fat cow, who will give you milk for a long time to come. And law number 24, play the perfect courtier. The perfect courtier thrives in a world where everything revolves around power and political dexterity. He has mastered the art of indirection. He flatters, yields to superiors, and asserts power over others in the most oblique and graceful manner. Learn and apply the laws of courtiership, and there will be no limit to how far you can rise in the court. Wow. I don't know, guys. I don't know. So, I'm gonna stop here. I'm on law number 24. I'm halfway. There are 24 other laws. There are 24 other laws to get to, but I don't want to make this video too long. I just wanted to find something a little bit entertaining to discuss and see if there are any other people out there that have either read this book or heard of this book and find it as funny and entertaining as I do. I seriously found this book to be really funny. Like, wow. Honestly, I think that this is like the holy grail, like playbook or the Bible of like world leaders. I think that they use this, like, I mean, it's the 48 laws of power. So obviously those that are in power probably have used some of these tactics. That's my thinking, because I'm sure most people could think of someone, maybe a leader in their country or, political leader. Because I think that's what they tend to do. Because when it comes to like other professions, like, I don't know, in a company, being a manager or a CEO, I doubt that people could use like, they obviously could use some of these tactics, but a lot of these are just, they seem to me just like plain manipulative, and it's difficult for me to see scenarios in which they could become successful or just good leaders in the company by being this way, because people will just feel it. At least in today's world, work culture is a thing, and people are very sensitive about how people treat them and how they are in the workplace. But that tends to be different in like politics. And politics is, to me, it's like all about power. And so I could see, in fact, the profession in general, it's like, hey guys, here's power up for grabs. Come and get it. Do what you can. And like all the politicians are like, yeah, like I'm gonna do whatever I can to get into that position of power. So yeah, I think today's politics is all about power, and I wouldn't be surprised if politicians really studied this book or just use these tactics naturally, because it's the laws of power. Could you imagine a company having like 10 people using the laws of power like that? I mean, that wouldn't work for sure. Like, that would be crazy. But yeah, in politics, it's not necessarily about order and doing things right. It seems like it's more about outsmarting people and reaching the top than about doing what's right and healthy for organization, or for people at large. So yeah, guys, I had so much fun going through these laws. I mean, they made me laugh like crazy, and I just couldn't wait to read these out and like post this online. I don't know if there's one person out there that would discuss with me or just leave any kind of response to this, just to tell me how you feel about this, because honestly, for me, I found this crazy. I have not, I don't think I've read the book. I don't remember reading the book, maybe parts of it, but it seems like a really long book. This one says like 624 pages. Like, that's crazy. I don't think I would go through the book. I don't think I have that time. But, you know, some people have read it. And if you have, it would, you know, I would love to know, like, how you found it. Did you feel evil afterwards? Did you feel like very powerful and all-knowing about how to manipulate the systems and rise above the rest? Tell us. Anyways, thank you so much for being here, especially if you've reached this point. Like, I appreciate that you are watching this far. And thanks for watching. Hope to see you again in a part 2. Maybe if this was entertaining enough, then we could make a part 2 and go through the rest. I don't know. You let me know. Thanks for watching. Bye.